I don't either. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to him about video, but he was like, oh, well, I'm meeting with Josh. You guys should just come by.
I mean, I think that if you're starting something new, you have to be careful because everyone has a bread and butter, right? And if you get away from your bread and butter too early, it'll you. So like for me, like I didn't start anything new until this place was established, running, smooth systems and processes, the people that needed to be in place. And then once that was there, then I had the bandwidth to actually start new stuff. Whereas I think a lot of people start to dilute themselves too early and start to go like, oh, like they can't focus on one thing. So like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then they never build something special. You never build something great. And I think that's something that a lot of people run into. And you can call yourself a serial entrepreneur because you have 4 businesses. But if you have 4 businesses that aren't successful, are you really a serial entrepreneur? You know what I mean? Like you're just kind of someone that gets easily distracted and you have business ADD. You know what I mean? So I think that that's a big part of it for most people. And I think young people especially, that's a hard part. So I think that, you know, I had a solid 4 years into this place and probably 8 years of practice under my belt before I was willing to go, hey, let's start venturing out and doing other things. And even in that, like now I'm like at a point where I have like multiple other things going on, you know, and whether it's just investments and real estate and other businesses where it's like, shit, like now I'm starting to go, do I keep picking other things up or do I refocus on the firm? Like, where's my biggest ROI from? And the truth is like I've realized my biggest ROI will always come here. So now it's like, okay, now I'm investing more back into this, hiring more attorneys, thinking about opening other offices, buying other buildings, like, but investing back into Batta Fulkerson instead of, oh, I'm gonna start another business. I think I started other businesses because it was like a challenge. It wasn't like a money move, right? It wasn't like I needed more money or I wanted to like, oh, this will help me make what I want to make. Like I'll make the most money in this law firm. And so now that I've kind of scratched that itch, it's like I'm refocusing on how do I build this bigger and make this even better than it already is. So I think you just have to be careful of like venturing out too early. Find the one thing that you want to do and do it really, really well.
At what point though do you diversify, right? Because like with me, like my bread and butter is cheap ass leads, and that's like what's paying for Carlos and for all that stuff. And obviously I do like some investing in businesses and consulting on the side, but at what point, because I know you're in everything, like you have, I mean, you get more shit done than most people I know, but at what point do you focus on the bread and butter, but also have other things in case the bread and butter goes away? Because then you're really screwed, right?
Yeah, but like depending upon what your bread and butter is, right? Like there's risky ventures that are like, you know, like for you, I don't think your bread and butter is going away. Like, do you see the market changing anytime soon? Do you see real estate going away? Do you see like, I think for you, like doubling down on that, and if that's where you're making the most money, that's what I would do. I'd keep doubling down, double down again, because you're gonna get to a place where you end up selling that thing for $25 million, $40 million. But if you keep trying to go, oh, well, what's this new thing? You're gonna stay at like a $5 million valuation, right? So for me, this isn't going anywhere right now, right? Like there's no way that I see, you know, this business where it's just gonna like crumble one day. So I don't worry too much about like, well, I need to overly diversify because if something happens here, that's not a concern. I could see that in some business models where it's like technology's changing, AI's pushing you out on a short term, like, and you can see that, right? And then you gotta make some pivots and some moves. That's not your business, that's not my business. That's not even your business. Like we have very solid things in place that if you focus on that, I think that will help you grow. Like you look at someone like Jeff, right? Like Fenster, he's focused solely on Everbowl and he's grown it into this megalithic, amazing business that's worth $150, $200 million because he's just focused on that one thing. Right? If he was doing, which he could do, he has the ability to do it, but if he was doing 6 other things, He's not going to grow that into what it is today.
See, but like you invest with other people. So when I look at guys like Jeff, Jeff does have a lot of things going, but he leverages other people.
But they're passive investments.
That's what I mean. So like, but he brings something to the table, right?
Yeah, but it's the same thing that I bring to the table. It's a network.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some businesses where I have to put a lot of time into them. Those probably don't have the smartest ROI for me.
Yeah.
My time should not be spent doing that.
Right.
So I would much rather look at smart investment plays, smart real estate plays, smart, like we just opened that restaurant in Mission Valley.
Yeah.
That's a pure money investment play.
Which one in Mission
The
Valley?
Remy.
Okay.
It's a steakhouse.
Got it.
It's,
no, I saw you post it. I didn't know it was Mission Valley.
It's all like Montana, fresh meat, like bomb shit. Like,
but
and
you're
it's
not
really
spending
solid.
time in the business.
The only thing that I have to put to that is my network. And they know that I have good pull of people. So I'm going to be able to send people and then my money. That's it.
Jeff's book, I'm only like halfway through it, but Jeff's book is like how you live your life too.
Yeah.
You're always making deposits around the community, and it's not to get anything. That's the thing.
Trying to help other people.
Yeah. That's
why Jeff and I get along so well, because he does the same thing. Like I can call Jeff and he's not going to get anything out of me. He doesn't need anything from me, but he'll help me.
Yeah.
But it's the same reason why when he calls me and goes, hey, will you order my copy of my book? I go to every person in my office and give him a $20 bill and tell him, please order 2 copies of Jeff's book.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't need to do that. I'm like, I know, but you do it for me.
Yeah.
It's just life.
Yep.
Like it's just what goes around comes back around. Like it's energy, it's karma. It's tough because like a lot of it is just saying yes to things, right? Like when I was starting, I would go to all these like networking after work type of things and just meeting people and doing that, and then dinners and business groups, right? Like if I was you, I'd be popping into every LaTip and BNI group in San Diego. Like that's what I would spend my mornings on. I'd get a list of every BNI group and I'd get a list of every LaTip group, and I'd be popping into every single one of them and just dancing around, because you can visit the group 1 or 2 times for each of them. And I'd just be going and doing introductions with as many people as possible. And yeah, you might strike out 3 days of the week, but then on Thursday you find a guy that's like, I've been looking for someone like you to do exactly what you're doing, right? And it also just gets you out into the world and helps you meet people, and then you see them again, 3 months later when you're eating dinner and you're like, oh, what's up? I met you at LaTip, Mission Valley, blah, 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 blah. And it always comes back around. So it's why I love Jeff. Bro, life changes quick. I remember when I was in law school, I was so broke and I had an $11,000 credit card bill with Bank of America. And I remember when I graduated, like calculating like how many years it was going to take me to pay off that $11,000. I'm like, I'll pay this off in like 6 years if I'm making $200 a month payments. And like, and now it's like I can run up an 11 grand bill in, a month pretty quick, without even thinking about it. Yeah. Like life perspective is a funny thing, how it changes, but I still remember that all the time. I'm like,
think bigger
and realize that, money isn't everything, and that, like, don't forget where you come from. Because I remember it was just, 12 years ago where I had that $11,000 bill that I thought I'd never pay off.
Yeah. Dude, one thing I like is how often you go back to Idaho. Like, it's funny because we have kind of similar, because my parents live in Oregon, which is very similar to, it's a bordering state, but I go up there all the time. And the fact that I'm free enough to be able to go up there whenever I want and hang out with them, like, they live in the middle of nowhere, so I got them Starlink internet because their internet was terrible. Yeah. Dude, sick. And just went up there to help them install it, and like, that's like the shit that matters in life.
100%.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and it also brings you back to how you were raised, what's important, what you need to be focusing on. It recharges me. Like, I come back and I like have a new vigor to like work harder, and